Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the Emily Norris Mum tag, and if you aren't following Emily, I will link her below, but she would have to be one of the sweetest mums on YouTube. She has fabulous organisation, hacks, tips. I wish she was around when my children were younger, and I must admit, although my children are a lot older than Emily's, I still head on over to her channel to get tips and tricks. And she's also the fabulous mum behind my journal that I bought, the Positivity Planner, and she has fabulous tips and tricks and routines in here as well. And if you're new around here, I'm Michelle. I'm a mum of 3 gorgeous children, Isabel, Olivia and William, and they are 14, 12 and 10. Favourite mum hack. So my favourite mum hack would definitely be the colour-coded system. When the children were little, I used to have colour-coded plates and I would have colour-coded towels, so everyone knew who was who. But even to this day, now the kids are older, when I fold their laundry, I have a colour-coded basket and the kids know to grab that in the laundry and pop it in their room in the afternoon. The most embarrassing mum moment would have to have been when I was 20 weeks pregnant with William. We were travelling along in the car and I told Chris I didn't feel well, and there was a BP service station up in my sights, but I couldn't make it. I wound down the window and I vomited everywhere. Sorry for the too much info. And when we pulled up at the service station and I looked in the back, poor Isabel was head to toe in my vomit. I was head to toe in my vomit. Chris cleaned up the car. I went in and cleaned Isabel up and myself up, but we had to walk through the eatery, vomit all over us, and yeah, it was rather embarrassing. What part of the day do I love most would definitely be at 3 o'clock when I pick the kids up and they hop in the car and they tell me about their day. I just love them all having their little conversations and telling us, and they always ask how my day has been, and Olivia also said to me that this was her favourite part of the day. My least favourite part of the day would hands down be in the morning when the kids are getting ready for school. It doesn't matter how organised we are, there's always bickering. William doesn't like the way the girls eat, where's my hairbrush, and yeah, she stole my hairbrush, so definitely mornings. The worst thing someone said to me when I was pregnant was I was in the supermarket with the girls in the double trolley, and I was 7 months pregnant with William, and a man came up to me and pointed at my belly and the girls and said, "Obviously you don't own a TV." How rude! A baby name that we didn't agree on was Lucy. I love the name for Lucy, but Chris wouldn't allow it because his dachshund growing up was called Lucy. Do we co-sleep? So my children are older, but I will admit that my husband works away occasionally and I'll have the odd child come in and still sleep in my bed. But when they were little, we were definite co-sleepers from the day they were born, and all 3 of them were co-sleepers. Something I bought but never used was 40 and 50 baby clothes. I had a whole lot, but when Isabel was born, she was £9.10 and Olivia was £8.14 and William was £9.14 and a half. Is that just a little bit off £10? So they were instant 3 zeros. So that was something I never used. 3 hospital bag must-haves. So 2 of them I definitely had. The 3rd I didn't, but I've seen it on Instagram and I thought it was a fab idea, so that's why I'm going to let you know. The first is pack a few different sizes of baby clothes. Obviously from my previous answer to my question is that you never know if you're going to have a smaller baby or a larger baby. Just have your options open so you don't have to worry about asking anybody to go home and rummage through your clothes to find a baby outfit. Number 2 is definitely dark comfy pants. Just in case you have an accident, you've got dark pants on. But 2, you want comfy pants in because you're getting up and down off the bed with your baby, and you also might have had a Caesar and you want nothing to be rubbing on where you've had your C-section. And the 3rd, which I thought was fantastic, is adult lady nappies. That way you just pop them on, and if you do, you can just throw them out. That way you're not having any accidents with your pads and your underpants. So I thought that was a pretty good one. Are you a routine mum or a go-to-flow mum? And what does bedtime look like? I definitely thrive on routine, and we have the same thing every night, but our bedtime routine has always been the same, and that is bath, book and bed. Now the children have showers, but that's always been the case, bath, book and bed. What type of labour did you have, and what pain relief did you use? So for my eldest and my youngest, they were both induced, and my eldest was a 3-hour labour. I tried with the gas, I didn't like it. I tried to also hop in the bath for comfort, I didn't like that either, and I ended up having a pethidine injection. For my second, I went into labour naturally, and it was a 6-hour labour, and I loved the gas for that one. And the third, for William, was an hour and a half, and I had gas as well, and all of my children I had to have my water broken. Have I ever been mum shamed? When William was born, he was born with a strawberry birthmark, and he had it up until he started prep. He still sometimes, it pops up when he's upset, but constantly when I went to the supermarket, I would have people asking me what I had done to William, and I was a bad mum for allowing him to have fallen over and bruised his face. Biggest challenges I have faced since becoming a mum is being away from my children and trusting others. I found it really hard to trust others with my kids. Even with Chris, I would panic that he could possibly leave him in the car and forget they were in there, and I still to this day, my children are a lot older, I get very upset being away from them. I was away on the weekend and I had the worst headache the whole time because I was worrying if they were safe, and it's something I'm definitely working on. And the bit of advice that I got that I loved was to pat your baby on the bottom like a heartbeat, because when your baby is in your tummy, its bottom is right up near your heart and it brings your baby comfort. And I did this with all 3 of my babies, and whenever I nurse anybody's baby, I always pat their bottom like a heartbeat. My biggest piece of advice to any new mum is that, as great as advice can be, that every baby is different, and if someone's advice doesn't work for you, you haven't failed, that every baby's different. I had 3 different babies and all different things work for them, and as long as you're doing your best, that's all that matters. Who is my mummy crush? Hands down, Emily, and she is just fabulous. Another mummy crush is definitely Mrs. Meldrum, and everyone that I tag to play along is a total mummy crush too. And if you head on over to my Instagram, you will find that a lot of the mums I follow I absolutely adore on there as well. And if you would like to play along, make sure you tag me if you're a YouTube mummy vlogger. If you aren't a YouTube mum and you would still like to tell me your answers, definitely comment below and let me know, or head on over to my Instagram and maybe you want to do an Insta story and tag Emily in the mum tag over there. That would be fabulous. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!